What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The War Report. I'm Inevitable, and today we're bringing on a special guest. Last week, we sat down with the Community Clash World Champions Das Anfall. This week, we're sitting down with the runners-up and European champions Mercenaries, an NC outfit from Miller. So I can't tell you exactly what we're going to see today, but I'm sure it's going to involve some smoke, a few maxes, and, quite a bit of action as we get into the gameplay with them a little later. But before we do that, we're going to bring their leader, Master Chief, onto the show here and give him a little run around, ask him a few questions, dig a little deeper into the Mercenaries, see what they're all about, what they stand for, and give a little bit more to their name there, to their image, so you can learn about them and I can learn about them and put a little bit of a backstory to the Community Clash as we head into Season 2. With that, let's go ahead and bring Master Chief on to the show. Master Chief, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, how are you? How's everything going there?
Good. It's a little bit late here in Europe, but yeah, we're still about.
Yeah, I'm glad
still having a good fight.
Glad we could get you on here. I know we do have the time zone differential, but why don't you go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself and Mercenaries?
I've been playing PlanetSide since the first one came out, and the Mercenaries have been about since 2002. They're a multi-gaming clan, and so we play a lot of games, and yeah, we do well in all the things we play.
Yeah, you guys did very well in the first season of Community Clash. There, it was great watching you guys. I enjoyed seeing the tactics you guys were using. But as far as the European scene, how competitive was that compared to, say, your final show there against this Anfall, against the North American team? How did things stack up in the European side?
Well, we had a fairly easy route in. To be honest, the first couple of squads, they put up a fight, but they weren't really a match for us at all. So we wiped through the lane in the first one, and would have done the same in the second one had it not been for the bugs that were there. But yeah, it was pretty straightforward. We got to the final against Ini.
That's it. Yeah, I was just going to say those bugs, those gate diffuser shields there, didn't quite work out for you guys, did they?
Yeah, a lot of frustrated people on TeamSpeak because of that bug.
I can imagine I've run into that bug myself a little bit. You try to go through the shield, you're never sure if it's going to work. You just kind of hold your breath, and then you see what happens, right?
Yeah, we knew it was there. That's why we pulled so many Sunderers in the vague hope that at least 2 or 3 would go through. But to basically have every single one of them fail, it was just a sign to say this wasn't going to happen.
So with those 2 first matches you said did go pretty much in your favor throughout, would you say then that in the Elite the European finals would have been your toughest opponent outside of the World Finals?
Within the actual confines of competition, yeah, they put up the biggest fight we'd had within the competition. But even so, we felt in control through that. They put up a good fight, but we had the edge.
Yeah, that is the case. You guys were able to take that 4-2. Quite an exciting match. And of course then the World Finals 4-2 as well. Really exciting games watching you guys there. Out of the 3 lanes, with Indar in the first round, and then you moved on to Esamir, and then we had Amherst twice. Did one of those lanes, kind of stand out to you that you preferred more over the others, or did you have a preference?
Personally, I liked Esamir the most. Of course, all our members will have different opinions depending on where they prefer to fight and what they were doing. But I found Esamir to be the best because it didn't have a neutral point, so it was more similar to the live server situation. You had to overcome a defended position.
Ah, yes, I could see that. That did make for a lot of different gameplay throughout all the matches we saw. Not having that neutral base to fight over really was a big deal. And definitely, I think it affected a lot. Would you say going into the last 2 matches there on Amherst when you did have to fight over a neutral base?
Yeah, definitely, because so much hinged on your opener win as a neutral base that it kind of became the whole match. As long as if you took that base first, it would take a lot of persistence off an enemy to then come back and take that off you, which did happen. We managed it against Ini, and Das Anfall managed it against ourselves, but it required a lot more effort to do that, and it relied so much on the opener to be right, and if one got the opener better than the other, then they were a distinct advantage straight away.
Absolutely, that opener being so important to a lot of teams, especially with the air battle, the air struggle. I don't know, did that that's a question for you. Out of all the different phases of the game, you have the ground, you have your vehicles, and you have, of course, the aircraft. Was there maybe one component or one group of units over the others that really helped? Was like kind of your go-to, your go-to force that kind of won the matches for you?
But yeah, it's always been a point that people have made about Comclash being so important, and I agree with them to an extent. And our air guys are some of the best you can find in the game, and they've done a lot to bring the rest of the outfit up to scratch as well. And so every one of the people in our outfit can fly to some extent, and that is really important to be able to call that support in or to dominate the air so you're not getting spammed. So yeah, I mean that's probably what I would say is the most important part of it. But equally, the ground forces have got to have the game there as well. So there's no out-and-out winner there.
Yeah, we could see that. I think with the World Finals against Dasanfall, out of the 4 matches we watched with you guys playing, I think, at least from my perspective, it looked like you struggled the most in the air in that final match. Would that be an accurate assessment? You think it was that kind of this toughest air battle you had going throughout the whole tournament?
Yeah, I think any of our guys would say that out of all the matches, Dasanfall put up the best fight in the air. Our guys were able to manage it and cause some problems, but ultimately they were matched, I think, pretty evenly.
And you mentioned too with how good your air guys are and how good your ground guys are. What really takes you? What does it take to get to that level? What kind of practice regimen do you guys have with the mercenaries? Are you practicing 3 times a week? Is it 5 days or?
We don't have very much practice at all, really. We've had scrims. We had scrims against Future Crew and Roughnecks to get us ready for the tougher matches, because obviously we'd not really been tested by these earlier outfits. And so we got a lot from the Future Crew match, because initially we didn't open so well and they pushed us right back into the tech plant. We came back from that in the same round and pushed them all the way back out to a draw. So we owe a lot to our success to these 2 outfits that have played with us in practice situations, which is great. But we don't do it because a lot of our life play applies directly to Community Clash.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's a great point that a lot of teams going into Season 2 can take is, the people you practice with really affects how you show up on game day, right? So if you can find a top-tier outfit to scrim against, that's going to certainly aid you going forward, into that next...
Yeah, absolutely, and both outfits gain from it. Future could gain some practice against a tougher opponent, and Roughnecks, who are preparing for Season 2, have taken a lot away from fighting us as well, because they've seen how much different the actual match game is when it's only 24v24. There's quite a lot more focus put on different areas, unlike the main game.
Mm-hmm. And, thinking of this with the practice regimen and training, or actually practicing with these other outfits, does it expose, and that also with the match against Dasanfall, have they exposed some of the chinks in your armor that you might be working on going into Season 2?
Yeah, I mean we have a very good all-round game, but naturally there's always going to be places we can improve upon. And every match we play, even the ones that people say would be a stomp or a rollover or whatever, we've taken from those matches things that we've used on the next match, and we will continue to do that into Season 2. Things like speed and flexibility, particularly. We are fast as it is, but we can be faster, and we've seen that you can be faster. So we've already started to work on that. We learned pretty early on that, like, these grand plans that some people get before matches to say, we'll do this, then we'll do that, then we'll do the next, those go straight out the window. So it's more about the play-to-play moments, and that's really what we build into our live play.
So it's that old military axiom, once you make contact with the enemy, any plans you have kind of go out the window.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. And we tried that in the first sort of pre-season matches and realised straight away that just doesn't survive the first bullet being fired, basically.
Yeah, but I have to say though, looking especially in those first 2 matches, you guys really did seem that you had a game plan down, because you, more than any other outfit, I think, went from one base to the next very quickly. I mean, it was, sometimes you were even in the base on point before the defenders had spawned. So, I mean, I guess, do you actually, when you sit down and look at these matches and the maps going into, do you have something, a game plan figured out that you're intending to go towards, but then, of course you have to adapt as the game goes on?
Yeah. I mean, what we have is we look at every single sort of match before it happens, at least a week before. We'll sit down and we end up discussing it sometimes for hours on end, and we'll look at it on the test server or on Jaeger if we can get on, and we'll say, well, if this has happened, then this is probably what we should do, and we'll build that play into our live server game. Like we might go on and take a point off of an enemy, and then as that point's about to tick through, we've already got a cloaker or someone else on the next point. But we've always done that in PlanetSide and PlanetSide 2 anyway. We've always had people thinking on and going ahead of the group, and yeah, it works really well in Comclash.
Absolutely, and I can even think in the World Finals there with Dasanfall, you guys were able to do it at points, able to cap a base and kind of slow the Dasanfall down, or even put them on their heels at points. So it was a really solid play there. Is that as far as I'm thinking about the Dasanfall game with their tactics and using kind of like the troops on the hill, right? And they have these things that you don't see coming, that like they hit you in the flank and you're not expecting it. Are you going to kind of incorporate any of that into your gameplay for Season 2? Do you think, or are you going to stick with this kind of what you've got?
We saw them with the engineer turrets out on the hills, but it's not much different to what Innie did with. They brought prowlers and tried to sit them off into a distance to spam a point. It's something you're aware of, and as soon as sort of like they became aware that they were there, then reactions were made to take care of that. But there are a lot of other little things. They were very quick at adapting to situations and exploiting sort of like what they were presented with. They're very quick at doing that, which was impressive to watch, and it's something we'll be working on.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. I'm excited to see you guys. I guess you definitely will be coming back for Season 2 then, it seems.
We've definitely submitted ourselves for Season 2. We'll see what comes of it. We're just waiting to sort of see what the new rules and regulations are going to be, because we hear that the time's going to get shortened and various different sort of lanes this time out as well. So we're interested to see what's happening. We've got members that have been through Season 1 and maybe not so keen on Season 2, but that may just be a bit of fatigue, because it was quite a long process and a lot of effort put in, and a lot of our members are in their 30s. They've got family responsibilities, so we have to take each thing as it comes.
That's true. You have to really balance the practice schedule with everything else, the real life responsibilities. That's a great point too. It can take, this can kind of prepping for these tournaments can definitely take a lot of time if you allow it to. With that, Master Chief, I do want to thank you for your time, but what do you say? How about we get into the action on Araxis and go for a little bit of a killing spree?
It sounds good to me. Just hope Miller can deliver the fights.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it looks like I'm looking at the map now. It looks like we have a little bit heated up. You guys are situated on Indar right now.
We're gonna try a Cal drop. We're just looking for an appropriate target now.
Okay. All right. Oh, I can see the Maxes coming along for the ride. Looking forward to that. Some smoking Maxes.
We've got some.
So is that then, you think, your preferred style, the Galaxy drop, when you're attacking a base?
Yeah, I mean, it has to be the amount of support we need with running a stronger squad. We tend to drop outnumbered positions, just purely because that gives our members the best entertainment.
Oh, I believe you there. I'm a fan of that myself. It's nothing like fighting against overwhelming odds, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And thinking about this too, with your max guys, is there a squad comp that you prefer?
Yeah, a lot of the streamers and a lot of people commenting on streams, always say that we're running like a million maxes, and we aren't. Typically, each squad will have 2 or 3 maxes, and they require the engineer support of 2 or 3 engineers to go with that. And then we sort of fit the medics around that and heavies as well. So it depends on the target. Sometimes we're heavier or lighter and long range and so on, and our guys are usually very quick at reacting to it.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, because a max is a strong unit, but without the proper support, it's it can go down. I mean, it's not going to heal itself, right? So it's got a limited lifespan without the engineer, and then of course the medics.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the max is a force multiplier, but it's only going to do a few before it goes down, and that's just wasted resources.
And those are also on the community clash. dropping in. And I think I'm gonna land on the other galaxy. Oh, I just missed it. Sorry.
I'm an engineer. I'll repair you.
It's a very smooth drop you guys had. Looks like most of you all landed in one spot.
I can repair that.
Yeah, we're kind of trying to make it up as it goes
Got ammo
along.
for you. So down.
All right, so
I can repair that.
with an outdoor point like this, what do you think's the best place to set up defensively? In this double-decker?
Ideally, in this two-story building we're in at the moment, plus the one across the road as well. That way you get like a crossfire going.
I should probably reload there. 2 rounds.
I'll start repairs.
Got a guy down below. And so yeah, it's really important in a double decker like that. You got to watch both sides of the, the bottom entrance and the top entrance. But getting a revive. Perfect.
This will be good as new.
Is this the best you have?
I'll get you fixed up.
And I see a spawn beacon down here. Actually, it's for reinforcements. Is that usually your, you throw one of those down, and I guess you don't keep the galaxy up or asunder.
Yeah, on Miller, your galaxy's just not going to survive very long at all. So really, your beacon has to go out, but you have to choose a moment to do that.
I can repair that.
But this target's a bit ambitious. It's about 90 TR here. But we've got, if we look at the map, we have a lot of friendly NC armor coming in.
Okay. Looks like we got a bunch of maxes coming into the double decker here.
The Terran Republic has taken the facility.
I tell you, these maxes take a while to revive.
Yeah, it feels so long.
Enemy max spotted.
All right, so yeah, it looks like we're still up. Still got a few guys up.
Yeah, I think we're about to wipe. There's a lot of CR coming in, but it's giving the NC the momentum to get their armor up, so we can probably help them. So we're just going to go back to Warpgate now and pull some air support for those tanks.
Okay. What do you have a preference there? Reavers, Libs, Battle Cals?
A mixture. Depends on target again, but mostly it's Libs with 1 or 2 ESFs to keep ESFs off our Libs.
Okay. Oh, that's quite a few Liberators you've got here. I don't think I've seen this many in one place before. Does one of these guys have an extra gunner spot I can hop into?
Yeah, I mean, hopping any of them, most of them have got Bulldogs on the back as well, so even the third gunner is very effective.
Okay. Alright, so we're gonna head back to Briggs then, I guess, and see what we can
Try and give them a bit of support there, basically. The tanks are great on it, but they never really take the base on their own, and with a bit of air support, they might do better.
Out of your 24 guys, about how many do you think are would you say are good, like really strong pilots, strong in the air, kind of like career pilots almost?
We see it during the day. A lot of the guys play purely in the air in Libs or or whatever else they want to play. I'd say probably about 15 guys are really good. But naturally, some of them just aren't interested in competition, so we don't always have those available for them.
Yeah, absolutely. With the time, the conflict, so it's, I can understand that. You can see that's definitely a lot of armor out there, a lot of vanguards. Looks like even some Max is starting to push into the point.
Yeah, and particularly at this sort of time of night, the fights tend to evolve into one single lane or, you know, across continents, and hopefully with the double XP and an alert going on, we should see these sorts of fights going on, but we would generally get involved in other fights, but it's just not the right time of day for it.
Enemy medics in the area.
Plus, the more the merrier, right?
Yeah.
Looks like there's quite a few TR there still. Some Burster Maxes coming out of the spawn, but should probably be shooting.
Yeah, we're likely to move on to a different target now, just having a quick look.
Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and go in there on foot.
Yeah, we decided to drop and bring some more guys down by Beacon.
Yeah, you're situated in the other double story now. Coming in. I have to say, buildings like this can be, you know, quite a good defensive position if you can get set up properly.
Yeah, I mean, usually at this particular base we would attempt, like I said earlier, to take both the building we're in at the moment and the one next to the point. It's just we kind of made the first drop up as we went along, so we didn't quite plan well enough for it. But now we've got the momentum, we should be able to take this now.
Stay alert. Enemy heads nearby.
Enemy light assault.
So when you're at a base like this, you've got them locked down. They're kind of pinned into the spawn room. When do you start thinking about the next base or the next battle you're going to?
Normally we'd assess the pop, which we have in any base like at the moment. If the pop's sufficiently high enough, we'd likely leave before the cap even goes through, because there's just no more fight left into it. Camping the spawns is the most boring thing we find in the game. So usually our platoon leaders are already looking at the map midway through a hack. But we're kind of short on people at the moment, so
Yeah. See, there's still a lot of TR in that spawn room.
yeah. I mean, if they chose at this point to push out, then and we weren't here, then we would probably lose this. And even if they decide to do it now, we'd probably lose it because there's a lot of them in there.
Now, are your squads all in one channel? Do you have like all 24 guys, like say, in one channel, or do you split up by squads?
No, we typically stay in the same channel. We've found over the years that is the way we prefer to do it. It can get a bit messy at times, but as the numbers increase on TeamSpeak, the chatter gets cut down on. We find the guys manage to do that mostly organically. but it's usually, I mean, anything up to 36 people online a night at the moment, because obviously we're quite high on activity off the back of Community Clash. It was a good experience for people, so they're really energized around the game and are enjoying it.
And it's not too crazy for you having all those guys in one channel. It doesn't get too out of control at all.
Absolutely. I mean, it can absolutely get too much, but you know, a comment from myself or any of the other co-leaders for the outfit usually brings people into order. And sort of around 7 PM at night, we kind of switch to a more serious way of communicating.
Kind of go into your game mode to get your war face on.
Yeah, I mean, it just gets a little bit more serious. It's not like you hear a lot of guys on the forums say that they play like military or anything like that. We have a lot of joking going on, a lot of laughing, occasional singing. But when they need to turn the game faces on, they do it really well and instantly. We don't generally need to whip them into shape.
I'll get you fixed up.
All right. Well, what do you think now? Are we? Should I redeploy or?
Yeah, we're gonna redeploy. We're just trying to find the next place to go to, really.
Okay.
I'll patch you identified a Republic mosquito.
Let's take a look at the map. Oh, there's a huge battle at Indar X. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at now.
Okay. I think you just need to drop all 24 guys on that tower and just take them on head on. No. All right. Looks like we're all back at the warp gate. Probably getting lined up. Looks like we're going in with a medic set and heavy. So yeah, there's the Galaxy. Look at that camo on that thing. Oh, and I got the Top Gun, huh? All right. Maybe I can hit something with this. Give these guys a moment while they get set up, and I don't know, looks like Indar X is probably the biggest, where all the action is right now. Then there's going to be, wherever the TR fall back to, will probably be another battle from the NC. Looks like East Canyon is where they all respawned. And there's the waypoint. All right. All right, so 2 galaxies. All right, double the fun. Let's count these guys up. We've got 2 maxes, 5 medics, 2 heavies, 3 heavies. Oh, okay. And then about 2 more. Oh, look at that decal. The EU Season Champions Community Class. That is a sweet decal you've got there, Master Chief, on that Galaxy.
Yeah, it's really nice. Looks good. Promotes us.
Yeah, that's awesome. Representing the CC here, the Community Clash. And Miller.
Yeah, the Community Clash guys have been great. They've put a lot of organisational work into it and done it all off their own back as well. With the help of Maggie Lepers at SOE, she's put a lot of work in as well. And the European side of things as well, ProSieben have been really involved with it and really up for like getting everybody on it together.
Yeah, I imagine a lot of work goes into that we don't see, on the front end, all the organization and getting everything set up and then making sure it goes smoothly. Dealing with all the issues.
Exactly. We had people like Tony at ProSieben staying until 10, 11 o'clock at night to make sure all the things are set up and the matches go smoothly. And you can't really thank people enough for that.
No, you can't. It's something they do out of the good of their heart, and really glad that they do. I appreciate that. Looks like I missed my drop. All right, you guys. So you're dropping on C. Do you at a 3-point base like this? Are you dropping 1 galaxy on B and 1 on C, or do you drop both at C? Does it depend on the pop?
The nature of this particular base means that the other point is wide open, and this is going to be hard enough as it is, because the angles that tanks can get into this particular room are pretty savage. So we have to bring a lot of engineers, a lot of medics, and put turrets up to try and deflect some of the spam.
Absolutely right. That B point is out in the open.
Yeah, we do, and again with this, it's more just hoping that this gives the NC enough of a distraction on the VS side of things for them to push up and then allow us to have an infantry fight over this base.
I tell you, this level 1 medic tool is it takes a while to revive somebody.
Oh, it's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah. You forget how good you have it.
You do. I mean, we play over Empires as well, and we recently started some new characters on VS Miller, and to be without your certs, you really start to feel the pain.
It's good though. It gives you an appreciation, for the finer things in PlanetSide.
Yeah, you do pity the battle rank ones that you killed it.
Oh, absolutely. The welcome to PlanetSide moments. I'd say it's pretty cool how you've got the maxes situated up on top of this. I don't know what you call this, like a little locker here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time when we play in places like this, you'll hear it in Yale and everything else that people say, oh, we've got like 10 maxes in there, and it's not really. It's just our maxes are constantly on the move and know exactly where to stand, so they can get the best effect on the people coming through the door.
Oh, and there's a conch grenade. Looks like I'm conked, but I'm safe and sound. All right. Yeah, your positioning too. I've noticed that in watching the matches. You've got them. You kind of know where the angles of fire are, and where you're safe, where you're going to take damage. So you kind of set up accordingly.
Absolutely, yeah. And each base is different. In PS1, obviously, everything was a bit cookie cutter, but in PS2, every single base has some sort of difference that you need to adapt for.
And then the engineer turret at the window on the top floor, is that purposely set up there just to block shots?
But yeah, exactly. It blocks shots, it blocks spam, and the turrets will also sort of mitigate the effects of conch grenades as well. Although we have just implemented the implant system, so you can get yourself a lovely little implant that will sort of cut down on the concussion grenade effect.
Yeah, I know a few players weren't too excited about that, but
Let me heal you.
those conch grenades, they are nasty, I tell you.
It changes the way the game's going to be played, and I think particularly for Season 2 of Conclash, it'll be interesting to see what effect they have, because the concussion grenade is such an integral part to you taking back a room, whether it be a point or a building to get to a point.
Now, I'm thinking about all these explosions. Do you usually run flak armor on your infantry, or do you have a preference?
I think most people will run flak armor, particularly when they know they're coming to a base like this. We knew before the outset of this coming here that people were saying, get flak armor on, get shields on the maxes, and know where to stand.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see that, because I think when you're inside like this, you're going to take a lot of explosive damage. I'd say we've been able to hold this point for quite a while now.
Yeah, it's a horrible point as well, and the VS know who we are, know that we're in here. They've already been putting in /L, so they know to bring the vehicles to spam. But we're just hoping the NC get that momentum up now.
I'm an engineer. I'll repair you.
It looks like they've broken in on the bottom floor here.
I'll get you
Yeah, we see that, but we see there's a few more NC starting to come across the desert now towards their excavation on the map. So we're hoping they can get us some relief from this tank spam we're getting on the backside.
Okay, so we just have to hold out a little longer.
Fingers crossed, yeah.
I can heal you. Someone fix this up. I can repair that.
It's really, I have to say, it's impressive that you can hold out this long. With the, I guess you got the maxes, so you keep enough medics up so you can get the revives, and then you've got engineers for reps. Now, I have to ask though, why do you mix the heavies in? Is that for the rockets?
The rockets and the specialty grenades, yeah, and they're just very good because they can just focus on the task in hand. And plain NC, the maxes just lack range, and you need that extra punch that the heavies bring.
I can definitely see that. Yeah, that's true. You know, so I'm used to playing with the Terran Republic, of course. So they have a little bit more range, but there's the rockets, the range, and of course the grenades, all very useful. And do you have a cloaker up? I'm looking. I don't see one in the squad. Do you use anything for darts?
Yeah, normally we would have a couple of cloakers, one in each squad, but to the time of night we're at, our usual players that play cloakers just aren't online, so we just can't support that at the moment. The same with the smoke as well. We would normally have a constant sort of cushion of smoke, but it's a very boring task to do, and particularly again because of the time. I'm not trying to play this too organised because it's late for everybody.
Oh yeah, it's a late night for you guys. I've actually got a view of the outside. I can see the Vanu pushing in while it's.
Yeah, I mean, I keep looking at the map and I see there's a lot of NC armor, but we don't seem to be progressing very far. But then we're looking sort of north as well, and Helios Solar's about to go through, so the NC from there should also start putting pressure on.
I guess the two lattice lanes are going to merge into one, and then.
Yeah, and that extra pop will then roll onto this, and it should hopefully give us a bit more of a fight, because as much as it's great holding out for this long, it's a bit boring and people are dying all over the place.
That is true, yeah, you kind of die and you're not always getting a lot of kills. I can see it eventually being a little demoralizing. As I say that as I die. When I die on the revive. Oh, it's 2 BR-100s in a row, look at that. What are the odds? Oh, this guy needs some revive. All right, and a third time. Yeah, I think I need to sort out my flak armor the next time I die.
Right, we've got random NC sort of running about outside now, so hopefully this will change the way this fight's going.
They're kind of like the analogy would be like the rock that the waves are breaking against right now.
Yeah, that's quite often a response in the L trap. We get a lot of hate because we're very difficult to get out of the building. But it's usually good natured. The server Miller is the sort of chosen server for the veteran outfits from PS1. So there's a lot of community that goes back 10, 12 years, and you certainly feel that compared to other servers that we play on.
You say 10 to 12 years, so you were formed with Planetside 1, is that how the...
we formed before Planetside 1. Betbon, which is our community leader, started the outfit in Operation Flashpoint, which was back in 2002. And a lot of the people that started the community back then are still playing the game today. But naturally, the community marches on, people get older, and 12 years is a long time. So families have come and everything else, and we're currently run by 6 co-leaders, including myself. So we keep the community running, do all the boring stuff like the admin work and keeping people interested. So it keeps on growing. We have a lot of new recruits that are 18, 20 years old, and 12 years ago they were still sucking their thumbs.
You don't have any second generation mercenaries yet, do you? That's
No,
not quite.
but there are a few probably at the right age, but not quite. We have a few family members that play in the outfit together.
Some brotherly love.
Brothers, sisters, cousins, people and stuff like that.
It looks like the NC Armor started to circle the whole base. We've got Sunders up to the south side now. So hopefully.
Yeah, I'm just seeing a lining passing the back door now for the first time instead of it being a VS one. I say that as I get pump action shotgun.
Okay. Yes, you gotta love that. Walk around the corner and do a shotgun. It's always a great awakening.
Thanks.
What I would do for some C4 right now.
Yeah, like I said.
Enemy medic here. Okay.
Need repair!
This will be good as new.
So in a situation like this, we discuss how strong mercenaries are at holding out in the building. Do you think there's maybe a weakness that a team can exploit, or a vulnerability that would? Yeah,
I'm not sure. I wanted to give that away.
You don't want to give that out, do you? No.
Yeah, I mean, we like to use smoke. We have a reputation for it, and we seem to have ruined a lot of servers' gameplay, it seems. But smoke comes with its own weaknesses as well. You've got to aim down sights a lot of the time, which means you're susceptible to explosions a lot more because you don't see them coming. And what we've found a lot of outfits have now started to adapt to is it's taken them quite a while, but they will use AV nades a lot. A couple of them with concussion grenades. People have started to use EMPs, and this community clash really has sort of brought out people's thinking when it comes to dealing with organised groups. And we've seen it a lot on Miller now, where outfits before where we would just sort of laugh at their abilities have become a serious challenge.
I'll get you fixed up.
All right.
Could use a medic here.
So trying to find an angle here, but I can't. Looks like though.
I'll start repairs.
Yeah, we're still on 1 point. I'm guessing somebody they'd capped B for a little bit there.
Yeah, we're gonna try and start moving on to the other points now, but we just need a bit more in C.
Okay.
Ammunition here. Spotted an enemy extra.
So there's a PPA spamming a lot of the infantry as well, and I think Savage. Yeah, probably.
Enemy medic spotted.
Got extra ammunition here.
I'll get you fixed up.
And this is that other point, the B point, which is very, very exposed. So we're in the middle of a double XP weekend, aren't we?
We are. It's it changed the fight quite a lot.
Spotted an enemy heavy.
This would be good to do.
Well, it looks like they have an engineer turret in that building. It's going to be hard to get through that opening.
Yeah, it's pretty savage. We're trying to find a way in that isn't too much of a choke point, but they've obviously spotted us and know where we're coming from, so it's going to be a bit harder. It's pretty equal pops here. In fact, they've got a bit of an advantage.
It's really difficult. You can see all the Vanu on the map. They're little indicators, and they're kind of on the other side of this wall from us. It's like, if you push past this wall, though, we're going to be exposed to the tower.
Yeah, it's hard. It's kind of a bit like running the beaches, I suppose.
I'm having flashbacks of Saving Private Ryan right now as I run in. Yeah.
Eyes open. Enemy heavy.
Take some ammunition.
That's nice. You guys all went to the single-story building over here. It's definitely a great defensive position.
Yeah, the point being so open is really hard to keep, and we've got to keep a few people back at sea as well. So taking the building that you can overlook the point is kind of key.
Get you fixed up. Ammo. Hey, alert.
Looks like we might have a light assault here. Good for him.
Yeah, one went over the top of the building.
Now, do you have anything with your medics? I know I'm thinking if they all get grouped up, they can all go down to, let's say, one explosion. Do you try and keep them spread out? Is that something they actually focus on?
Well, it's the problem with medics is you can't really manage them, otherwise they lose their own effectiveness. So we just rely on them really being smart, and it's not always the same people that play them. You see, so
Okay.
they just have to look around them and hopefully they get it right, and most of the time they do.
So you rotate the positions, and you don't have like designated roles, really, like somebody who mains a medic class, and then somebody who mains a max.
We certainly have people that are stronger in those roles, and people know who that is. So they will normally play that role, but we have a multitude of people that could step in.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely see the needing that, being able to switch between roles, especially with resources. When you're dealing with the community clash, resources being so scarce, you can't always count on one guy. Oh, I just dropped into a ton of Vanu. But yeah, you can't always count on that. Like one guy being able to, play a max the whole game if he runs out of resources, or one guy being able to pull an ESF.
Oh, absolutely. And when we're trying to pick 24 guys from like the 36 that have signed up, we have to factor that in, that this guy is a great heavy, but is it heavy the only thing he plays, or can he do something else really well? And we're blessed that most of our players can do everything to a certain degree. Obviously we have people that excel, but it's a difficult thing to pick 24 people.
All right. So what's the call now? Do we all go? Are you all going back to Warp Gate? Is that usually the regrouping strategy? Or?
Yeah, I mean, occasionally we would sort of spawn into a different base if the fight would be there. But for now, we're just going to stick to recalling because we're having to sort of look at the map as we go because the fights are moving around pretty quickly.
And then I don't know if I've asked you this before or not, but do you have a designated galaxy pilot? Is that something you would do? Like saying the same guy pulls a galaxy every time just to get into the hang of things for competition, or do you mix it up?
In Community Clash, we had a dedicated Gal gunship pilot because he was really good at Louis 5D, so Lewis. So yeah, in Community Clash we did have, but any of our guys can pull a Gal on a live server, so long as it's like sorted out to what we wanted to have. There's no point in getting a stock Gal because it's so slow.
Yeah, absolutely. Having that frame on there. What do you usually run then on the Galaxy? Do you run a racer, or would you go for? I'm trying to think of the one that we used. High G or precision?
We would use racer.
Racer, just to get there fastest. Okay.
Yeah, exactly, and we use stealth just to try and keep us off the radar. Okay. Just trying to find a good fight now.
Yeah, it looks like the VS have really pushed the NC back out of Indar X. Now, is that matching camo on the Galaxies on purpose, or is that like your, the team colors?
Zebra's our team colors.
Okay.
We picked it because it sticks out.
That it does. It's a good-looking paint job you've got there.
Say again, sorry. Whenever to.
I was saying it does stick out. It's quite a good-looking paint job you got.
Yeah, we like it. I mean, it's not exactly keeping your cover, but people know who you are, and
Absolutely.
I think it's great.
Sometimes you want them to know who you are, right? Am I?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it gets us targeted as well. When the guys are playing sort of like out of ops times, that some of them turn it off because they know we're going to get the first one to get shot at.
That is true. Yeah, if you're think about it, if you're playing in a battle and you see somebody wearing a distinct camo, you might tend to go for them first.
Enemy sensor in the area. Spotted a hostile infiltrator.
Now, I guess is the strategy here to hold inside the double-decker, opposite the road, or would you push across ever for a spawn cam?
Well, we used to push across, but with the pop that's going on at Briggs at the moment, we think we're going to get a lot of incoming. So if we overextend, we'll get wipes out, and it's hard to get back across the road once you're across there.
Absolutely, yeah. I can see them, starting to redeploy and come back, and at least here you can get them as they're coming across the road.
Yeah, and we've got some Sondras trying to make their way down to us as well, and there's a Gal gunship floating around too to try and help suppression. And if you look off the back of the point, you'll see there's a pipe leading down to Briggs Laboratory, and there's a load of TR and foot down there.
Oh, I'm headed in that direction. I can see myself in the third person there on the observer canvas. An out-of-body experience in Planet Side 2. Looks like the NC have showed up in force now.
Yeah, after a bit of trying, they're actually making progress.
I think, you know, with capping the point here, it's kind of forced the TR to fall back and gave the rest of the NC the, you know, opportunity to move forward.
Absolutely. I mean, thankfully the TR took a while to realise that we were here on foot, you know, en masse, so it gave us that little bit of time, but we might need it to take this.
Thanks. Oh, that's great. I accidentally walked into a lightning there.
Yeah, well, the lag on Indar's been pretty bad today. It's double XP always brings it out, I think.
Well, I think it brings everybody out there all out in force.
We're out, Matt. Finish them off.
Visual on hostile engineer.
We're just going to redeploy now.
Okay. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there's a kill command. Is that correct? You can type into chat.
Slash suicide.
Slash suicide. Okay. They can even redeploy even faster, I guess, if you really are in a hurry.
Yeah, but a lot of guys are concerned about KD and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I know. I never could do that myself. All right. Well, you know, I think we're gonna have time for one more run with you guys here.
Okay. We're gonna try dropping Core Med Labs now.
Okay. Now that's an outdoor point, I believe, with like surrounded by a double-decker building.
Yeah, it's been recently redone by Sony. It's a lot better than it was. Certainly interesting. It's got underground tunnels, I think.
Oh, well, this will actually be my first time fighting at the new base.
Yeah, I think we just completely outpopped them here.
Oh yeah, we were actually defending, so we were able to spawn at the base. And I'm sitting here in the warp gate. Is it pretty much empty at this point, I think?
I'm not 100% sure yet. I've not had a chance to look at the map. Just guys commenting on TeamSpeak are just saying that we've completely outpopped.
Enemy max spotted. I'm an engineer. I'll repair you. Just saw an enemy medic. This is as good as new.
Now, say in a battle like this, if you wanted to get to Indar X, would you go back and pull a Galaxy to drop there, or would you have to pull, say, armor and push up with Vanguards, or, I mean, not even harassers at this point?
I suppose it depends on how the guys are feeling at the time. A lot of the time we prefer to drop in Galaxies, but because of the openness of the field between here and Indoor Excavation, tanks are not always the best idea, because there's a lot of AV turrets, a lot of you know, lock-ons, and their own tanks come in the opposite direction. So it just sort of becomes a big mess of you trying to duke it out with each other's MBT. Which is, you know, sometimes what people want to do, but in organised operations we prefer to just get there as soon as possible and hope the NC can bring it up a rear.
Alright, with that we get the base. Yeah, I think that's about gonna wrap it up for us. As I take a PPA around to the back of the head there. But you know, Master Chief, do want to thank you for showing us the ropes here. Do you have any last shout-outs or final words you'd like to throw out there before we sign off for the evening?
Like I said earlier, I'd like to thank all of the Conclash team, including ProSieben, for helping make the event fantastic. And we look forward to other sort of grassroots competitions coming up, like PAL and Server Smash, that are coming up through the ranks. And yeah, we really enjoy the game at the minute. There's just certainly things we'd look forward to as well. And you know, our own outfit, I'd like to thank every single member that's taken part in each of these matches, and the ones, especially the ones that have sat out as well, because it's hard to leave people out who want to play, and you know, some guys didn't get a match, and for that we're certainly going to try and change. Roughnecks for giving us some good training matches, and we hope we're going to continue that relation for season 2. And yeah, I'd like to just give a shout out to Canham as well, one of our co-leaders, same rank as me, and he leads a lot of the platoons and led every single match we played in. So a lot of the success is down to his great leadership.
Well, Master Chief, thank you very much for coming on. Great big thank you to you and Mercenaries here. It's a pleasure having you guys. Wish you luck going into Season 2. And guys, that's going to do it for us tonight. But before we sign off, I want to remind you to go to PlanetSide2.com. This game is free to play. You can go there, download it right now, and get in on the action. It is double XP weekend for the members there, so you can get in and earn extra points this weekend. And of course, to find all the information about the Community Clash, go to ps2comclash.com, right? ps2comm clash.com. You can find all the information about Season 2, as well as, you know, the recaps of Season 1 and the brackets, the teams, all the breakdowns there, how to get involved. So go ahead, go to planetside2.com to get the game, and ps2comclash.com to get the information about the Community Clash. And that's going to do it for us. So I'm Winevitable, and I'll see you guys next week. Or in the meantime, if you want, you can go to youtube.com/MLGTV. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.